why have you decided to go public?
The internet sleuths tracked me down and hounded me and gave me death threats.
Who do you believe? Since Fiona Harvey, aka Martha, came forward in Piers Morgan's interview, the world has been trying to decide who is telling the truth. In this video, we'll explore the real truth about Richard Gadd's version of events as portrayed in Baby Reindeer. Then at the end of this video, you can decide who you believe, Richard Gadd or Fiona Harvey. Since its debut on April 11th, Baby Reindeer has been rapidly ascending Netflix's global top 10 TV shows chart. Drawing from Richard Gadd's 2019 one-man stage play, the series plunges viewers into his hauntingly true narrative, chronicling his encounter with a woman dubbed Martha. What initially appears as a simple act of kindness while working as a bartender and struggling comedian swiftly escalates into a nightmarish ordeal of stalking and obsession. The series immediately grips viewers with its opening scene in episode 1, where the stark declaration, "This is a true story," flashes across the screen. As the narrative unfolds, viewers are immersed in the unsettling reality of Gadd's experiences, portrayed with raw authenticity and emotional depth. In the series, Richard Gadd embodies the character of Donnie Dunn, a fictionalised version of himself, whose life takes a dark turn when he extends a simple act of compassion to Martha Scott.
Can I get you something?
No thanks.
Are you sure? Cup of tea?
No thanks.
You have to buy something.
Can't afford something.
Setting off a chain of events fraught with obsession and manipulation. As Donnie navigates the moral complexities of his actions, the show delves into themes of power dynamics and psychological turmoil. Jessica Gunning's portrayal of Martha has garnered widespread acclaim, capturing the nuances of her character's descent into obsession with chilling authenticity. Gadd's writing not only explores his own traumatic experiences, but also delves into the broader societal issues surrounding stalking and abuse. Moreover, the series fearlessly confronts Gadd's own assault at the hands of a television writer and producer, shedding light on the pervasive nature of abuse in the entertainment industry. Despite his attempts to shield the identities of Martha and Darian, the producer, from public scrutiny, Gadd's efforts were ultimately futile. Every on-screen message in Baby Reindeer, including the typos, is a genuine message sent by Martha to Richard Gadd. By identifying specific phrases, viewers were able to conduct online searches and uncover the social media accounts through which Martha harassed Gadd, ultimately revealing her identity, despite Gadd's efforts to protect her anonymity. Here's a rapid rundown of the show's plot. In 2015, a woman called Martha in Baby Reindeer started stalking Richard Gadd. She was actually 20 years older than him, which made things even more unsettling. In the show, Gadd's character, Donnie, works in a bar where Martha becomes a regular. She sits across from him for hours, drinking a single Diet Coke and showering him with creepy, overly detailed compliments. She gets his email address and starts sending him hundreds of messages every day. Things get worse when Martha finds out Gadd is a comedian. She starts showing up at his gigs, standing up in the audience and telling everyone she's his girlfriend. This behaviour really confuses the audience because Gadd's comedy is already awkward and confusing. People are left wondering if Martha is part of the act or if the whole performance is falling apart. Martha is a fantasist about many things. She claims to be a lawyer, but in reality she was disbarred after being convicted of stalking her barrister boss. She insists she loves Donnie and that he loves her too. Once she learns where he lives, she begins watching his house and harassing his ex-girlfriend, both online and in person.
Someone just attacked me.
What?
I thought it was acid. I thought I was going to go blind.
Stalking is more common than people realise. About 7 million people in England and Wales have been stalked. Gadd's story touches on universal anxieties, which may explain its overnight success, described by him as like lightning in a bottle. So much happens between strangers online, where over-familiarity can turn into aggressive fantasy, and sexual obsession can shift into hatred and rage. It's often unclear how seriously to take these interactions. The best way to stay sane is to treat them as background noise, like elevator music. But there's always the nagging question, what if this virtual harassment becomes physical? And given how much personal information is shared online, how could you ever escape someone who decides to take their obsession offline? The unsettling answer is, you can't. Talking about the physical world, It seems Richard Gadd tweaked or omitted significant aspects of his life in the series. Baby Reindeer tells a harrowing tale, but not everything is shown exactly as it happened. Gadd's real-life experiences have been altered for dramatic effect, and some details are left out entirely. Donnie Dunn, the semi-autobiographical character inspired by Richard Gadd, is introduced as a struggling comic whose unique brand of anti-comedy isn't quite breaking the mould as he had hoped. These scenes reflect Gadd's own early struggles in the stand-up comedy world. However, the series overlooks the various TV gigs that marked Gadd's career. Before his stalker first approached him in 2015, Gadd made a notable appearance in an episode of the sitcom Scott's Squad. During the stressful period when he was being stalked, he managed to secure 2 writing credits on the late-night series The Last Leg. Despite the intense personal challenges, Gadd's career continued to progress. Since the stalker exited his life, Gadd has co-written an episode of the popular series Sex Education and made a guest appearance on the hit show Outlander. His other acting credits include roles in Wedding Season, Click, and Code 404, reflecting a far more impressive and diverse resume than that of his character Donnie Dunn. Despite the relentless harassment from Martha, Donnie can't get the police to take action until he presents them with concrete evidence of a threat. This plot point draws from Richard Gadd's real-life frustrations, where he found himself repeatedly hitting dead ends with the authorities until they finally intervened. Based on his play Baby Reindeer, one might assume Gadd harbours a deep resentment towards the police. However, in a 2019 interview, Gadd provided a more nuanced perspective by saying it's not their fault. It's the lack of funding, training, understanding and support for victims.
And I realised that it was sort of neither of our faults in a way. I realised that the system itself, that had allowed the situation to grow into a point where it was almost impossible to sort of comprehend.
Even the police admit their approach to harassment is flawed. While Gadd is critical of the systemic issues within law enforcement, he recognises that some officers genuinely tried to help. He stated, "I have met good police officers who did try their best." Baby Reindeer leaves Donnie's fate ambiguous, suggesting he may never fully move on from his trauma. In contrast, Richard Gadd has found a more hopeful path to healing. Much of this progress is thanks to the support he's received from We Are Survivors, a UK charity dedicated to helping men who have endured abuse. Through this organisation, Gadd connected with other male survivors who offered a crucial piece of advice: break the silence. Gadd discovered that the first step is to talk to someone or write it down if speaking is too difficult. While he doesn't see himself as a professional advice giver, he's learned that the more you get it out, the smaller it becomes. This insight has been a key part of his journey towards healing. Gadd acknowledges that he is still healing, but he has reached a more hopeful place. The community and support from We Are Survivors have played a significant role in his recovery. By connecting with others who have faced similar experiences, Gadd has found solace and strength. Sharing his story, whether through conversation or writing, has helped diminish the weight of his trauma. By the conclusion of Baby Reindeer, Martha has overwhelmed Donnie with a deluge of voicemails, enough to fill several podcast episodes, and written messages that could paper a wall. Though Donnie doesn't specify the exact frequency of Martha's harassment, Gadd meticulously documented every interaction with his own stalker. According to Gadd's records, the stalker bombarded him with an astonishing 41,071 emails, 744 tweets, and 46 Facebook messages spread across 4 different accounts. While the digital onslaught is staggering, Baby Reindeer also reveals that the harassment extended into the physical realm, with Martha sending Gadd 106 pages of letters. Furthermore, her voicemails, characterised by their extraordinary length, totalled an astonishing 350 hours. Netflix confirms that every email depicted in the play is authentic, underscoring the grim reality of Gadd's ordeal. Due to the staggering amount of documentation, Baby Reindeer merely scratches the surface of Gadd's harrowing experience. As Baby Reindeer concludes, Donnie's career begins an upward trajectory, hinting at the subsequent success Gadd would achieve in the years to come. While the series only scratches the surface of Gadd's future accomplishments, it's natural to assume he went on to create an Olivier Award-winning stage show titled Baby Reindeer, which serves as the foundation for the series itself. However, 3 years prior to Baby Reindeer, Gadd grappled with his trauma and insecurities in another one-man show called Monkey See, Monkey Do. This production, which won the prestigious Edinburgh Comedy Award, depicted Gadd on a treadmill, metaphorically trying to outrun a gorilla, likely symbolising deeper personal struggles. The widespread acclaim and popularity of Monkey See, Monkey Do reflect Donnie's viral breakdown in the Netflix series, which reignites Martha's toxic presence in his life. Much like Donnie's experience, Gadd's stalker amplified her toxic presence as Monkey See, Monkey Do became a breakout hit. In Baby Reindeer, the title isn't just a pet name, it holds deeper significance. While not explicitly depicted in the series, the stalker also sent Gadd a reindeer toy. In the closing scene, Donnie listens to a voicemail from Martha explaining the origins of the nickname, revealing her attachment to a reindeer toy from her childhood. Although the reindeer toy itself isn't shown in the series, its symbolism is self-explanatory. It represents Martha's twisted attempt to establish a connection with Gadd, mirroring her own childhood attachment to a similar toy. However, the same level of clarity isn't provided for the other items Gadd received from his stalker, including sleeping pills, a fresh pair of boxer shorts, and a woolly hat. Their significance remains ambiguous, leaving viewers to speculate on Martha's motives and the deeper meaning behind these seemingly random gifts. It's puzzling why Gadd chose to omit these details from the show. Perhaps he felt they detracted from the narrative focus, or simply added unnecessary complexity. Alternatively, their exclusion could serve to maintain an air of mystery surrounding Gadd's tumultuous relationship with his stalker. Similarly, the reasons behind why the stalker sent these particular gifts remain shrouded in mystery. After Donnie uncovers a threatening voicemail, he finally has the grounds to take legal action against Martha. She pleads guilty to 3 counts of stalking, resulting in a significant development in their tumultuous saga. Martha is subsequently sentenced to 9 months in prison, while Donnie is granted protection through a 5-year restraining order. In reality, Richard Gadd hasn't provided explicit details about the outcome of his own stalker situation. However, he mentioned to the Times that the matter has been resolved. Reflecting on this, Gadd expressed complex emotions, stating, "I didn't want to throw someone who was that level of mentally unwell in prison." Though it remains unclear whether the stalker served prison time, the issuance of a restraining order provided Gadd with a measure of legal protection. Fortunately, Gadd didn't hear from his stalker after his stage production of Baby Reindeer began garnering attention. In Baby Reindeer, Donnie embarks on a romantic relationship with Terry, a trans woman portrayed by Nava Mao. Despite their connection, the relationship encounters its share of challenges, and Terry ultimately decides to end things with Donnie for good.
Are you breaking up with me? Because of her?
No. Because of you.
She realises that his insecurities are preventing both of them from finding true happiness together. Interestingly, Nava Mao reveals that there was originally a more optimistic farewell scene between Donnie and Terry in the script. In this version, Terry leaves Donnie a voicemail about 5 months later, offering a sense of closure and comfort to both characters. However, this scene was ultimately discarded, leaving viewers wondering why Gadd chose to remove it and whether he had experienced a similar moment in real life. Regardless of the reasons behind its omission, Nava Mao found solace in the abandoned scene, knowing that Terry was in a good place after their breakup. While Baby Reindeer draws heavily from Richard Gadd's personal experiences, he took deliberate steps to protect the identity of his stalker. This included refraining from using her real name and making alterations to certain aspects of her life. However, Gadd remained committed to preserving the essence of their relationship as faithfully as possible. Beyond legal considerations, Gadd felt a moral obligation to shield his stalker's identity, recognising her as a victim struggling with mental health issues. He aimed to prevent audiences from engaging in speculation or attempting to identify the real-life counterpart of the character Martha. Despite Gadd's efforts, speculation persisted. An anonymous woman claiming to be the stalker has since spoken out about the show, revealing that she has received death threats.
The internet sleuths tracked me down and hounded me and gave me death threats.
Whether or not this woman truly served as inspiration for Martha remains unclear. However, it's noteworthy that both individuals share Scottish backgrounds and have backgrounds in law. Just as the audience begins to grapple with the horrors of Donnie's stalking ordeal, a new layer of trauma emerges with his relationship with Darian O'Connor, a writer who groomed and repeatedly assaulted him. While Gadd crafted the name Darian and the fictional TV show Cottonmouth for the series, the agony Gadd endured at the hands of his attacker is painfully authentic. The revelation of this deeply personal trauma has sparked intense interest online, with sleuths attempting to uncover the identity of the real-life Darian. Unfortunately, this pursuit has led to false accusations and even police involvement. Faced with the unintended consequences of this scrutiny, Gadd felt compelled to address the situation online. In his message, Gadd emphasised the importance of respecting the privacy and dignity of real-life individuals, including those who may have inspired characters in the show. He stressed that the purpose of their series isn't to incite speculation or expose personal details, but to raise awareness about the profound impact of trauma on survivors. Because Baby Reindeer is based on a true story, it wasn't long before fans began searching for the real people involved. According to Google Trends, top searches included Baby Reindeer Real Martha, Richard Gadd, and a man believed to be his real-life abuser. The show features actual messages and emails Gadd received from his stalker, leading some fans to cross-reference these details on social media. By late April, a few TikTok users claimed to have identified the woman who stalked Gadd. This online detective work quickly spread, with users sharing their findings and fueling speculation. Fans also tried to identify who might have sexually assaulted Richard Gadd during his early days as a comedian. In the show, the perpetrator is depicted as a powerful TV producer named Darian, played by Tom Goodman Hill. This led to intense speculation that the character was based on writer, actor, and producer Sean Foley. The speculation gained traction when Foley coincidentally stepped down from his role as the artistic director at the Birmingham Repertory Theatre on April 18th. The rumours quickly spread, prompting Gadd to address the situation. On the evening of April 22nd, just 4 days after Foley's resignation, Gadd issued a public statement defending Foley. He urged fans to stop speculating about the real-life inspirations for the characters in Baby Reindeer, emphasising the importance of focusing on the show's message rather than attempting to uncover the identities of those involved. Netflix held a special Baby Reindeer screening and Q&A session on May 7th in Los Angeles, with Richard Gadd and Tom Gunning both present. During the event, Gadd shared insights into how he approached depicting real people as characters in the show. Gadd revealed that he experiences toxic empathy toward his stalker, emphasising that he never viewed her as a villain. Instead, he saw her as a person who had been failed by the system and desperately needed help. At the end of the day, Gadd reflected, she's just someone who's in a lot of pain. On April 27th, the Daily Mail published a contentious interview with an unnamed woman who claimed to be the inspiration behind the character Scott in Baby Reindeer. Despite her anonymity, she didn't hold back, accusing Richard Gadd of using the show to stalk her and portraying her unfairly. She expressed frustration, stating, "I'm the victim. He's written a bloody show about me." In her interview, the woman asserted that much of what was depicted in Baby Reindeer was false and hinted at potential legal action against Gadd and Netflix for their portrayal of her. One particular point of contention arose from the show's conclusion, where Scott discusses finding solace in a baby reindeer toy during her troubled childhood, leading her to nickname Dunn Baby Reindeer. However, the woman vehemently denied this narrative, stating, "I've never owned a toy baby reindeer, and I wouldn't have had any conversation with Richard Gadd about a childhood toy either." On May 8th, Piers Morgan made a major announcement, revealing a world-exclusive interview with Fiona Harvey, the woman purportedly behind the character of Martha in Baby Reindeer. In the 54-minute conversation, Harvey vehemently denied allegations of stalking Richard Gadd and challenged his assertion of receiving 41,000 emails from her.
In the course of your relationship with Richard Gadd, you sent him 41,000 emails.
That's simply not true.
"I don't think I sent him anything," Harvey told Morgan, casting doubt on Gadd's claims. "There may have been a couple of emails, jokey banter, but that is it." She also claimed that Gadd had made advances towards her, which she rebuffed. When questioned about whether she had watched Baby Reindeer, Harvey responded with a resounding no. She expressed deep disdain for the show, describing it as an intrusion into her life and branding it horrifying and misogynistic. Harvey accused Gadd of profiting from her suffering and disseminating false information. In the wake of Harvey's claims, Gadd has remained silent, leaving the situation unresolved and prompting further speculation about the authenticity of their past interactions. Is there anything about Fiona that suggests she might be a stalker, as depicted in Baby Reindeer? On May 19th, The Sun reported an alleged incident involving Fiona Harvey harassing MP Keir Starmer in 2020. Starmer, who leads the UK's opposition Labour Party and is a potential prime ministerial candidate in the upcoming general election, purportedly received a staggering 276 emails from Harvey over an 8-month period. Among the emails, one from April 9, 2020, stood out for its disparaging tone towards Starmer, labelling him a stupid little boy. The messages were said to be an overflow from a dispute Harvey was embroiled in with local government officials in North London, a locale adjacent to Starmer's constituency. Described as fraught with spelling and grammatical errors, the emails threatened incessant complaints and ominously warned that Starmer's life won't be worth living if action wasn't taken. Notably, they were signed off with the now infamous tagline, "Sent from my iPhone," echoing a detail from the Baby Reindeer series. Gadd might just be telling the truth about the stalking. Fiona appears to have been thrust into the spotlight overnight, and some suggest she might be relishing it. On May 13th, Casbah nightclub in Coventry, England, stirred up a storm with a now-deleted Facebook post announcing Fiona Harvey's slated appearance on May 18th, offering fans the opportunity for selfies with the Baby Reindeer figure. However, just 2 days later, on May 15th, the club abruptly reversed course, citing safety concerns and cancelling the event. Their decision was reportedly influenced by the negative publicity surrounding the proposed appearance. The sudden cancellation raised eyebrows, prompting further scrutiny of the situation. On May 17th, Harvey addressed the controversy in an interview with the Daily Record, vehemently denying any agreement to appear at the nightclub. "Of course it's not true," she stated emphatically. She questioned the logic behind inviting someone purported to be a mad stalker to a nightclub event and expressed surprise at the notion of nightclubs in Coventry. Furthermore, Harvey highlighted her personal struggles, emphasising her limited ability to go out, let alone engage in clubbing activities. She criticised what she perceived as an attempt to exploit her situation, suggesting that signing autographs might yield more financial gain than appearing on television. Harvey's announcement of a potential lawsuit against Netflix has sparked debate among legal experts. While she claims that the show breaches her privacy and defames her character, some lawyers question the strength of her case. They point out that Netflix took precautions to conceal her identity, and Gadd himself refrained from naming her, instead urging viewers not to reveal her identity. However, Harvey's contradictory public statements and her decision to reveal her identity voluntarily may undermine her legal standing. Furthermore, the portrayal of Gadd in the show as a flawed protagonist rather than a hero could also impact the perceived defamation. In the wake of the controversy, several parties have threatened legal action against Netflix. Notably, writer and director Sean Foley has expressed intentions to pursue legal recourse. Meanwhile, online investigators have been relentless in their efforts to uncover the true identities of Martha and Darian, despite Richard Gadd's concerted efforts to maintain their anonymity. The situation escalated when some individuals falsely accused Foley of being the basis for Darian, prompting him to report these allegations to the police. Gadd swiftly refuted these claims, emphasising his commitment to protecting the identities of those involved in his story. Criticism has also been directed at Netflix for what some perceive as a failure to adequately safeguard the privacy of the individuals depicted in the series. Richard Osman, in particular, has voiced concerns about the streaming platform's diligence in protecting the identities of those involved. Interestingly, Osman also revealed that Darian's true identity is widely known within the industry. Although there is potential to explore the Fiona Harvey controversy in a follow-up series, Netflix has no plans for Baby Reindeer Season 2. The show ends with Richard Gadd's character saying he never saw Martha Scott again. I believe there's more to unfold in the ongoing controversies surrounding the show, and we're all eager to see what happens next. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe to stay updated on future releases. If you want to learn more about Martha Scott from Baby Reindeer and the whole saga around Fiona Harvey, check out the video on your screen now. Click to watch and I'll catch you there.